My wife brought her boyfriend to our Christmas dinner and said, "Kids, meet your new stepdad." I smiled, poured whiskey, and gave a toast that made him leave without his coat. A bottle of bourbon I'd been saving 3 years was still in my hand when I heard a man's voice in my living room. I set it down, walked out, and found my wife of 12 years standing next to a stranger, her hand through his arm. Our kids, Caleb, 10, and Sophie, 7, sat on the couch in their Christmas pajamas. "Ryan, this is Owen," she said, proud. "We've been together 8 months. I want a divorce. Kids, Owen's going to be your stepdad." The room went still. Her parents froze in their armchairs. Owen was about 34, my age, with a jawline that does well in profile photos, and the expression of a man revising his confidence in real time as he watched my face. I picked up the bourbon and poured 3 glasses. One for my father-in-law, one for my mother-in-law, whose face had gone the color of old wax, one for myself. I left Owen's empty. "Well," I said, raising mine, "it's Christmas, let's have a toast." I looked directly at Owen, to the man who spent 8 months in my house, at my dinner table, in my driveway, while I was coaching my son's soccer games and teaching my daughter to ride a bike. I let it sit. "You're a brave man, Owen." He opened his mouth, closed it. "And I want to say in front of everyone that I know about the Marriott on Clarkson Boulevard. I know about the November conference in Scottsdale. And I know about the car lease she opened in February, registered to this address, that I was told was for her morning commute." My mother-in-law made a small sound. "I know," I said quietly, "because I've been paying attention for considerably longer than any of you assumed." Owen grabbed his coat off the hook and was through the front door so fast I never heard it close. Here's what they didn't know. I'd noticed things for months. The phone disappearing from the kitchen counter in April, the skipped Saturday coffees. In August at Caleb's birthday party, her screen lit up. Can't stop thinking about last night. I told myself I'd misread it. I'm an architect. I should have known the most important things about a structure are never visible from outside. That night, after the kids were asleep, I called my brother Marcus, a litigator. I need a name, a good family attorney, methodical. By morning, I had Patricia Souza. She told me 3 things. Don't move money, don't position financially, and log into every joint account. It took me 22 minutes to find it. 6 transfers over 9 months to Meridian Creative Partners, LLC. I searched the state registry. Registered in January. Registered agent, my wife. She'd opened a business I'd never heard of and been funneling our savings into it. Patricia brought in a forensic accountant. His report went back 14 months, 2 further than I'd checked. The total redirected from our joint accounts, $31,400. Payments to a training studio near Owen's address. Cash withdrawals just below the reporting threshold. This wasn't overspending. This was a documented financial exit strategy. On New Year's Eve, Owen called my personal cell. His rehearsed confidence was gone. I had no idea she'd do that on Christmas. That was Dana's call. I disagreed with it. "Owen," I said, "you should probably talk to someone who can advise you on whether you have any exposure in this situation." A pause. "What kind of exposure?" "That's exactly the kind of question for your attorney." I hung up. At mediation, her lawyer argued the transfers were legitimate business development and that my irregular work schedule meant she should have primary custody. Patricia let him finish, and she placed the forensic report on the table. $31,400, 14 months, the first transfer occurring within 6 weeks of her first contact with Owen. Her lawyer made a very small adjustment to his posture. He hadn't known about the structured withdrawals, which meant she hadn't told him everything. They asked for a recess. 22 minutes later, they came back with a new proposal. Primary custody to me, the home sold with proceeds divided, and a credit against the documented dissipation giving me a meaningfully larger share, plus explicit written acknowledgement that the Meridian transfers constituted dissipation of marital assets. I looked across the table at Dana. She was staring at the window, not at me. I didn't feel triumph. I felt the clean sorrow of a structure correctly assessed that must now come down. "We accept," Patricia said. The relationship between Dana and Owen didn't survive the legal process. Meridian dissolved in August. Owen's address changed. I kept the kids, rebuilt my practice, bought a townhouse with better light than I expected.